A few days ago, I began exposing and reacting to one of the worst care guides on YouTube that was ultimately deleted, but I had the source file of this video. So I highly recommend you go watch part 1 because you'll probably be kind of confused watching only part 2, which you can watch here or in the link below. But with that said, it's time to continue on and finish the rest of this care guide.
So what I have here are two little gauges. One gauge is temperature and one gauge is the humidity.
Wait, there's no thermostat, is there? Our entire temperature regulation system, I'm guessing, is that little $1 piece of plastic from Petco. Just a guess, but let's find out.
Both of these are important for your ball python. So firstly, let's do temperature. So in this room, it looks like it's about 79 degrees Fahrenheit in here. 79
degrees? It's 66 in this room right now. 79? No wonder, look at the boy's shiny face. No wonder he's probably sweating up a storm in 79 degrees. Wait, there can't even be. I just happen to know that there's toads back there and a blue-tongued skink back there. They don't even get the option to be cool in a 79 degree room.
And you're gonna want the hottest side of your tank, or the hottest part, which I'm gonna do over here. It's best to do it away from the water bowl, and that needs to be about 90 degrees Fahrenheit.
It's best to do it away from the water bowl. Well, if you want higher humidity, it's actually, you can put the water closer because it'll evaporate more quickly and create more moisture in the air.
And then you want the just general average temperature to be about 80 degrees. And the cooler side, it shouldn't drop below 75, so keep it around 75 to 80, right in between that for the coolest side of the tank.
You can't even have a hot and cool side. The amount of hot is going to be like 3 inches. The cool's going to be like 3 inches. It's this big of an enclosure, literally. You're just a very small little shrimpy boy.
So this is a small area. How do you go about regulating it like that?
Yeah, that's actually exactly what I was asking. Let's find out.
You can use thermostats, which I've never used. I don't...
What? I'm sorry, could you repeat that? I'm not sure if I heard you right. Okay, ready? Let's listen closely, boys and girls.
You can use thermostats, which I've never used. I don't really ever see them available.
You can use a thermostat, which I've never used. This is my 3rd year keeping ball pythons, and I've never used a thermostat because they just never seem to be available. He's definitely just never shopped for it. He's definitely just never gone to Amazon.com and typed in thermostat before. He's just never thought to check. I just don't think they're available. Maybe in 2016, thermostats just didn't exist. This reminds me of a person recently who sent me some leopard geckos and said that they just couldn't find feeder insects. So they just stopped feeding them. I couldn't find them. They didn't seem to be available. They just didn't look. They just didn't feel like feeding their geckos. You, sir, would not be accepted for an Emerald Scales animal.
And I don't know many people that use them.
I don't know many people that use them. Translation, I don't know many people. I don't know anyone. I don't know anyone at all. I think that's what you're trying to say, big boy. All right.
So what I usually do is simply take this and just move it to different parts of the tank.
What? What the hell am I talking about? I mean, what the heck is this boy talking about? I don't use a thermostat because they just never seem to be available. So what I do is I take this piece of plastic from Petco, and when I need to regulate the temperature, I just move this piece of plastic around the enclosure and I go, temperature. Ooh, temperature. Regulated. It's good to go. 170,000 views on this video.
Wait about 5 minutes. Make sure it's the right temperature. So how do you heat it up in here? To check the hot side, I would just place it here. And then the best way to do it is, one, because there's a heat pad, that might add a couple degrees to it. And
okay, so what you do is you take a heat pad that can get well over 100 degrees. You can take a heat pad that can literally start fires. You put it under the enclosure. When you regulate your temperature with your little piece of poopy plastic, you don't even bother checking the heat mat. Just put it on top of the hide. The heat mat is so scorchingly hot that it actually rises the temperature a couple degrees anyway. That's all you gotta do. And let's add a Petco heat lamp with a Walmart 70-watt bulb, even though the Home Depot heat lamp is only rated for 60 or something. Let's have two. You know what happens is the heat mat generates a fire and scorches your ball python, and the lamp scorches your ball python by generating a fire because it's not rated for that many watts. So what happens is the force of the two cancel one another out and puts the fire out. It's like dropping a bomb on a fire, sucks out all the oxygen, fire goes out. That's what happens here. The heat lamp explodes, but since there's already a fire, boom, sucks up all the oxygen, fire gone. I had to help translate because he didn't understand it. He didn't explain it perfectly for you all.
Secondly, you can use a heat lamp. This is a more expensive Reptile heat lamp made specifically for reptiles, but it's no different than the lamps you can get just at Home Depot or something.
Okay, you are almost right. Yes, it's not made for reptiles. It's just marketed for reptiles, which is, I guess, made for reptiles, but it is different because these have plastic that melt. The reptile ones usually have ceramic, which does not melt.
This is one of the only ones I actually have as the expensive version, and it's no different. Now,
you can literally see, move your hand, stop flipping me off, boy.
It depends how hot your
Show me the
room is.
lamp.
As I said,
show me the top. Look, he's covering up the ceramic. He doesn't want his secrets revealed. Ceramic.
And it's no different.
Plastic. Ceramic. Plastic. They're different. They're very
different. Now, it depends how hot your room is. As I said, so it looks like right now the tank is already 82 degrees.
What? It's 82 degrees and he didn't even plug the heat mat in. You're pretty much at the hot spot with no heating sources, but guess what? You're about to add an unregulated heat mat regulated by a piece of poopy plastic and a Walmart heat lamp on top. It's gonna be perfect. It's gonna be a little sauna, but not because all the substrate is completely dry. It's gonna be a desert because ball pythons are from Arizona.
So I need to get that up a few degrees. So I might put a dim bulb in here that lets off light and just enough heat to get that up to about 90 degrees. You can also change that temperature by having it directly on the tank. That'll be really hot, of course. If you clip it on with a clip, it'll be cooler. If you have it even further, it'll be cooler. You want your ball python to have about...
This video is just filled with fluff of explaining general human, not even physics you need to learn in a class, just physics of like heat close, hot, heat far, cold.
12 hours of lighting per day. So you can use a timer or you can just do it by hand and basically turn that light on in the morning. If say you maybe...
Let me guess, timers aren't available. Timers don't really seem to be available. Is that why you don't have a timer either? Because they just don't, they never seem to be available.
Turn it on at 8 a.m. and then turn it off at 8 p.m. So you want them to have that day and night cycle. UVB with them, I don't really know of anyone that uses UVB with snakes or ball pythons specifically.
I heard some, I would guess, of the people watching this video, probably 30% of you would be my guess. Just cause, whatever reason. Ball python owners in general, though, probably like 1%. But that's because 98% aren't even reaching basic standards.
I guess it's not really a bad idea. There could be a benefit, but it's not needed necessarily for them.
That's what you'd say when you did not research a question you had before recording, but you don't feel like pausing the video to go answer that question, which now that I say that, I do that a lot in videos, don't I? I'll just say I don't feel like looking this up, Google it yourself. Well, now I'm a hypocrite.
It is for some animals, and it isn't for others. Okay, so next is humidity. It looks like the humidity in my room is already 50%. I think houses are usually like 30 or 40%, and you want your ball python to be just in between 50 and 60%. Just in case you don't know, humidity is the amount of water in the air. So ball pythons need it a little higher than desert animals, but definitely not as high as tropical animals. So they're more moderate with that. So as you can see, I have this right here. I use this one for the humidity. I just keep it on there at all times.
Yeah, those things traumatize me when I see them now. The stickiness on those things is crazy. I've had a couple animals pull them down, and they are so sticky. I don't like using sticky stuff in enclosures. Anything from duct tape to those things, I just want to keep adhesives away from the animals.
You might actually see it go up just a tiny bit because the easiest way to get that humidity up to about 50 or 60 is simply by having a water bowl. The water...
True. That can be true. That can be true. I'll give you 1 point so far. You're only at negative 114 points.
Of course, slowly evaporates over time, and because there's a little bit of heat in the tank, it'll evaporate a bit quicker, and that water in the air is just enough to get it up. If you need it to be higher, you can use Reptile foggers and just set it on low setting, follow the instructions on that. You can mist it with some sort of mister, like pump mister or something.
Reptile fogger, it's hard to breathe in it. Like literally just try and breathe with a reptile fogger. I think it's fine for many animals, but I wouldn't for ball pythons. And also, I mean, yeah, misting work, it's fine. You know what? I'm getting nitpicky. I'm getting frustrated. Let's continue.
Every so often, and you can use certain sprays that are used to get the humidity up. It's important.
I forgot. Wait, I'm gonna find it. Hold on. There's this. I want to see if it still exists. It does. Zilla Tropical Mist. So I used to use this stuff, and it smells absolutely rancid. I guess nobody buys anymore because they dropped the price completely. And it claimed that it keeps your, I guess, well, you can just read what it says. It can be sprayed directly on reptiles, amphibians, and their environments. The therapeutic spray is filled with rich stuff. I have no idea if this is safe, but I just remember it smelled horrendous. But I was like, I guess I'll use this because I don't know how else to get my humidity up. I went through so many bottles of this. That's a weird memory.
That is not too dry in here, especially if your animal's going through shed. You want it to be able to shed easily and not have that dry skin that's difficult to remove. You don't want the humidity to be too high, because the higher it is, the easier it is for mold and gross stuff and bacteria to grow and dwell in your tank. So be sure to keep it below 60% and try and keep it above 50% for ball pythons. I forgot to mention, heating at night shouldn't drop below 75. Try and keep it at around 80. It doesn't need a hot spot or a hot area.
The way he scratched his head tells me I have actually no idea what I'm talking about, and I'm just gonna continue this sentence that I've been saying for a while because I don't want to have to edit it out, and so instead I'm just going to recommend maybe 80, even though I actually don't think I know this information, but I need my video to be longer and done because I want to go play Minecraft.
At night. So just have it like maybe 78 or so. Just make sure the heat lamp is off. And
he's throwing out these super specific numbers. Yeah, try and keep it at 78.6 degrees at night, but even though I actually don't have any way to regulate this, I just look at the heat map and now it's 78.6. I don't check it. I don't even put my little piece of plastic on it. I don't use a heat gun. I don't use a thermostat, but you should keep it at 78 at night. Just do it.
You really shouldn't need a nighttime lamp if your room is about 80 degrees or so. Okay, so feeding.
Nobody else's room is 80 degrees or so. And we got the gourmet rodent, the most high quality rodents on the planet, the gourmet rodent.
Feeding is not a specific thing. I can't just tell you what to feed your snake because every snake is going to be different. Now,
snakes are literally the easiest reptile that you could literally say in a video. Feed it this. You feed it frozen thawed mice and rats. It's about as simple as it gets. Yes, of course, there's maybe some will eat chickens, some will eat types of birds, whatever. What do you mean? Yeah. Well, this is also coming from the guy that's feeding gourmet rodent, the most overpriced, lowest quality control, lowest quantity rodents that you can buy. There's nothing particularly wrong. I know a lot of you are probably using gourmet. You're just, if you have one snake and you don't have the money to buy a bunch at a time, yeah, it's fine. But I want this to end, but we still have video left.
I can tell you it's best to do frozen thawed mice or rats because not only is it more humane on the mouse or rat, but it's safer for your snake. Because if, say, there was a live mice that I dropped in here, you can actually see this in some videos, and then the snake grabs it, that mouse isn't immediately going to die. So it can fight back and possibly bite and injure your snake. Now, if you, the person...
We're in agreement. 2 points, now you're negative 113. Oh, yeah.
You bought your snake from or got it from or whatever, was feeding it live, you might have a difficult time getting it back over to frozen thawed, but it is possible. I'm just not sure how, so I can't really tell you that. So
I'm just not sure. Finally, thank the heavens for being honest. It's okay to say when you don't know. You should say that for every single. All right. So now we're going to talk about enclosure and how to set it up. I'm not sure how. Okay. So now we're going to talk about temperature and how to regulate it. I'm not sure how.
Size. The normal, I guess, rule you would like to follow for feeding your snakes the correct size, mouse or rat, is by looking at their body and feeding them something about 1.5.
The longer the video goes, the more jump cuts there are.
Rule you would like to follow for feeding your snakes the correct size, mouse or rat, is by looking at their body.
I bet you he had to go. Look at the way he looked down. He was like, how do you decide the best way to feed your mouse or rat? Let me grab my phone and Google it real quick while I'm making the video.
By looking at their body and feeding them something about 1.5 times the size of their body. So finally,
1.5 times the size. It's fine. You know what? It's fine.
I'm going to just stick a couple more things into his enclosure so it feels more comfortable and covered for.
The music is so loud. It's also, at the time I licensed this music from the artist, at the time I think this guy licensed the music from the artist, but I don't know if that license stands.
It also might make it look a little nicer. I have this fake plant here. You can use live plants, but yeah,
That is a sad looking fake plant.
can
It has stuck shed on it too, or is that urate? I don't know which is worse. Both, I guess.
create a live vivarium for them, but his is not. I also put some of these sterilized sticks. I can talk more about sterilizing things like sticks and stuff in the future, but just having those in makes it look kind of nicer, and the more stuff that's in there could make them usually feel more secure.
Wow, look at how secure this enclosure is. It was totally unsecure at first, and then he threw in those 3 sticks he pulled from his backyard. Everything changed.
Hopefully I went over everything that you may need. If there is more, make sure to ask me in the comments or email me. But yeah, this is what I do. Tell me what you might do differently and how.
They're stuck shed. Look, stuck shed, stuck shed, stuck shed, stuck shed, stuck shed, all the way around there.
It works, and if you think it works well. So maybe you're doing something that'll work better than what I'm doing.
No, there is absolutely nothing that can top this peak ball python setup.
So make sure you share that below. But yeah, that's everything for this video. I'm Alex, and thanks for watching.
What just happened to the music?
So make sure you share that below. But yeah, that's everything for this video. I'm Alex, and thanks for watching.
I felt like I just had to sit through it's like I just paid $30 for a movie ticket to a movie I didn't really want to see, but I was like, I already paid for this. I need to just sit in the theater and survive this entire movie. That's what that just felt like. That was only 13 minutes. I feel like I've been sitting in this chair for 3.5 hours. Also, this is when annotations were still a thing for you old folks in the YouTube community with a stolen clip art logo. Oh great, there's a corn snake one too. Look at that. Related video. Complete corn snake hair guide. Let me guess, it's the exact same setup. It's literally the same 20 gallon it is. You know what? There would be a conclusion in this video, but I'm just too exhausted. I'm just gonna go do the dishes or something to make me feel a little bit more productive than watching this video, because this just absolutely rotted my brain. If you don't want to support him but want to support me, you can join Patreon. And the link below. You get early access to some videos. You can message me directly. You get discounts on animals and merchandise. You can listen to my little podcast I do just for Patreon. A bunch of other stuff that you can check out. I actually haven't posted in a while there, but I will. I'm just a little bit behind. I'm just gonna go take a nap. I'm Alex. Thanks for watching, and you're canceled. I don't want to see your face on the air ever again. Goodbye.